Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Playoff Friday here at the 2019 Target USA Cup. My name's Tim McNiff, and this is Beyond the Bench Live. Those teams playing through the heat here today at the National Sports Center are trying to keep that dream of winning a USA Cup title alive, but the question still remains, just who will be standing at the end of the day? Target USA Cup is live streaming soccer matches from Fields Stadium North, South, and Field 60. Games from Stadium North and South will be available to view on Live Barn, while the games from Field 60 are being provided by our partner, North Metro Television. Just visit usacup.org/gamecast for more information and links to games. Well, one of the more interesting features to the USA Cup is the practice of using guest players. As the name implies, teams that find themselves shorthanded can be matched with a player looking to play and vice versa. Well, just how exactly does that work? Let's find out. We welcome Callie Ziegler, intern for registration and guest players. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You are one of the summer interns. We've been meeting the interns throughout the whole process. And so registration, just before you get to the guest player thing, wow. What a zoo that is. And the 2 days they check in for the weekend tournament and for this USA Cup, you are on your horse.
Yes, definitely. And leading up to it as well, just all the paperwork and getting everything in before registration is definitely key. So
you like that whole process of meeting the people and having them come through and getting them squared away?
It's exciting because you're emailing these people for months and then you finally meet them in person, and it's like, it's crazy. It's really nice to meet them after you've been speaking with them for so long. We
spoke about the practice of guest players, and I was new at the tournament last year from an internal aspect, and one team wins a championship from Japan, and all of a sudden there's a large American on their team, and it turns out, oh, I'm a guest player. Well, what's a guest player? What is a guest player?
So it's a player who is coming with a sibling or with a team, and they're looking for a team to play on as well during the tournament. So we look for teams who are in need of players and then place them with them so they can help during the tournament.
Last year there was also a team from Duluth that came down and kind of came together at the sort of last minute, and so they kind of pieced together girls and actually won a couple games. But it's an interesting concept. How common is it?
It's pretty common. Like, the last minute teams might have injuries or players that are unable to come. So then they seek out guest players to just fill their roster.
So are guest players typically local players?
Well, guest players can come from all around. They can come from different states, different countries, if they're traveling with different groups. But wherever the need is, so...
Okay, so we typically aren't like recruiting or encouraging single people to apply to play.
Correct.
It would have to be, say, maybe you had a sibling who was playing in U19 and you're U11 or 12, and you don't want to sit there on the sideline for 3 or 4 days.
Right. Yeah. So any team, like if like my sibling was coming to and playing with me, we could try to find a team for them as well.
And you pretty successful at having that happen?
Yeah. There's a lot that goes into it. Just making sure you check all these boxes before they can be placed on a team, but I think it's worked out pretty well this year.
I would imagine it has to be very rewarding for you when you see it actually happen.
Yeah, definitely, and just like talking with the players and how excited they are to be coming here to the tournament as well.
Well, let's talk about you for a moment, shall we?
Yeah.
You are a recent graduate from Bemidji State University. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You studied sport management and business administration with an emphasis in management.
Yes.
What are you hoping to do with that?
Well, I love just being in the sports environment, so I want to work in sports, whether it's like community relations or like with teams down the road. So I'm not 100% sure on what exactly I want to do, but just being in sports is my main goal.
And you had a prior intern experience with another local team prior to this with the NSC?
Yes. Yep. I interned with the St. Paul Saints last summer in their community relations and fan services.
Did you know that fun is good?
I did.
Yeah, I'd heard that somewhere. All right, but you personally, it said for your likes that you love to hike and go fishing. So before I ask you about fishing, did you miss the whole hammocking thing, or is that not a thing for you?
I've done it. I don't have my own, but I have done it with friends just in the park, and so.
Yeah, I've learned that hammocking is a thing with the interns.
It is
this year.
Yeah.
It's crazy, a mania. All right, if we're going fishing, I'm the type who I ask, well, what do I need to bring? Because I don't know how to fish for whatever fish in whatever kind of water. How serious a fisher person are you?
I'm not super serious. Just whenever we go to a cabin or a lake or anything, just casually fishing. But I'm not
You like
serious.
to fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do I like to catch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Fishing, I'm okay at. Catching, I'm just like, oh, I got a fish. Fish on. All right. And this last part I really wanted to ask you about because I find this very interesting. You have a stated goal to visit as many MLB stadiums as possible.
Yes.
Where are you in that quest?
I have gone to 12 Major League Baseball stadiums. So, and then I'll be going out to Boston with my sister this summer to go to Fenway. So
that's one of the iconic ones. You'll be crossing that
yes.
off the list. Will that be the biggest in your quest so far?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And the best experience you've had so far at a park not called Target Field?
When I went down to Coors Field in Colorado. Well, my favorite player is Justin Morneau. So the Rockies were playing the Twins when he was on the Rockies, and that was probably my favorite experience.
So have you met him?
I have.
Oh, and a very nice guy.
He is a very nice guy.
Yeah. So I want to tell you one quick story. When I was a working journalist and I was covering the Twins and they were playing the Yankees in Yankee Stadium, we stayed late to do a live shot, and of course they're an hour ahead on the East Coast. Mm-hmm. So the grounds crew was done, and they went home, and they just said, just don't run on the field.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we won't. And as soon as they left, I looked at the photographer and said, I'm running the bases. I mean, here you are on the field at Yankee Stadium where Babe Ruth had been and Mickey Mantle had been and Hank Aaron had been and all these greats. I'm running the bases. So, yeah, I broke the rules and I ran the bases.
Nice.
I wouldn't try it during a game.
Probably not the best idea.
Yeah, not the best idea. All right, Telly Ziegler, intern for registration, guest players. Wonderful to meet you. If you are a sports organization looking to bring a real winner on board to increase and change your culture for the better, I think we've got your answer right here. Nice to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Well done. Thanks for what you do for the USA Cup. And speaking of USA Cup, Tally's going to be working tonight, too. She has to because she's working the biggie. We are talking about the Grand Dance. Yes, it's the grand finale to a fantastic week of competition. One final opportunity for the players to come together as a group. If you want to attend, you're encouraged to look your best. You want to be the Rob Lodge of your team. Chaperones must fill out the chaperone form and bring it signed to the dance. Please, kids, do not bring bags or purses. They are not allowed. And yes, no younger siblings are allowed either. Field medical is one of those features here at the USA Cup. You really hope you never need their services. But if you do, you want to know that you're dealing with people who are not only competent at what they do, but they're good at it. Well, meet Sophia and Hannah Anderson. They are seniors to be at Spring Lake Park High School. Not only are they good at what they do, you are looking at world champions. The most recently held HOSA EMT Championship happening at Disney World in June. You guys took home first place. So who had to carry who in this competition?
Well, we were partners, yeah. So we kind of split up the scenario.
So you're sisters, twins. So is that an advantage maybe over people who are just meeting each other and known each other for a while, or a disadvantage because you've known each other? And
I'd say it's definitely an advantage because just we saw some of the other teams, and when something went wrong or someone didn't agree with the other person, they didn't really say it out loud. But I've known her forever, so if I think she's doing something wrong, I call her out right away, and that helps us improve. And she, of course, does the same thing.
It works the same way, right?
Yeah. Our communication was a lot of telepathy, which helped. That's what most people, when they would watch some of our scenarios, they would just say we were already ahead of people just by being related.
That's really cool. So you guys, you went down there, you had competed on the state level, and you finished third, which is great, but you guys weren't thrilled with that, or were you?
We were not. I thought, well, one part was I thought we needed first or second to go down to international, so I was like mad we didn't place. Then Bill said, yes, we can go, and then I was like, well, we're going to get first then if we're going to Disney.
And you did that, and it's interesting because we were talking earlier, and Hannah, you said you didn't feel that one part of it went all that great, so you were a little unsure.
Yeah, I was a little unsure in the scenario part, but I mean, every team needs one person that says, oh, we did fine, and then they're just fine on the bus back to the resort, and then I was kind of freaking out because we traveled all that way. and I mean, a little paranoid.
But it all worked out
Yeah.
well in the end. And you guys got a little scholarship money
Mm-hmm.
for winning. Congratulations. You're going to be seniors in high school. At what point did you start thinking, I'd like to be an EMT or maybe more with medical?
I've kind of been thinking doctor for a while, I think since the start of high school. And just hearing about Bill and the class he taught, really interested me in EMT. And then now going through the class, I really want to work as an EMT and then hopefully become a doctor.
For me, it was taking an interest in the medical field from science classes. And then I heard about OEC and I stepped into first aid and then signed up for EMR and EMT and it went well.
Throwing a lot of initials out there, people. OEC is?
Opportunities in emergency care.
Okay. And so that's what you guys, when you're EMTs, that's what you're really doing, right? Is that
Yeah.
so? Is that and the long-term goal, is that still the doctor? Has that only been enhanced by this experience?
Yes, it's definitely been enhanced. Emergency medicine has really been kind of shown to me through this. I didn't really know much about it, and now it's really making me want to check out emergency medicine, even as a doc.
Are you still thinking that same career path?
Yeah, me too.
More so than ever?
Mm-hmm.
So now it's interesting, and the Bill that they refer to is Bill Nice, who also works out here and teaches at your high school and has inspired a lot of students to go down this road. But I'm wondering, I'm guessing the rest of your grades have to be fairly solid. You guys strike me as pretty sharp kids.
Yeah.
And so you're now going through that whole thing, your junior year, did you do early application or anything? Do you know?
No. Most colleges open up their application in August, so we're both planning on trying to apply early on so we can kind of get out of the way for senior year.
And are you thinking you're going to stay together?
Probably separate, though.
It's time
Yeah.
to go your separate ways?
Well, not on purpose. We're just both interested in different schools.
So interesting. Tell me, what schools are you interested in?
Right now I'm looking at St. Ben's just because I originally looked at their nursing program, but now I'm thinking pre-med there.
Okay, and you're thinking?
Creighton University in Omaha, Nebraska, they have a cool emergency medical services degree that's really unique, and I'd like to check it out.
You guys have obviously done your homework.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, listen, we're very proud of you and glad to have you here. And you've enjoyed this experience?
Yes.
Is this your first time?
Yeah.
Okay, and we would be lucky enough, if your schedules permit, to have you come back?
Oh, yeah,
Definitely.
definitely.
Oh, we'd love to have your expertise. Sophia and Hannah Anderson, sisters, seniors to be at St. Louis Park High School, and they are world champions when it comes to the host of EMT competition. It's been an honor to have you in. I hope you enjoyed the heck out of your senior year, and I can't
Thank
wait
you.
to see where you guys are going to take this.
Mhm.
Fresh out their victory at the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup, U.S. women's team defender Allie Krieger made a visit to USA Cup yesterday. Allie made time for her fans, took lots of pictures, and satisfied hundreds of autograph requests. Big thanks to our friends at Target for making it happen. And there's more to come. Target also bringing former U.S. women's team member Shannon McMillan today. Full details, including where you can also find top Minnesota United players making appearances, can be found on our blog at blog.nsc. Great content that we've been creating. You can follow the NSC sports team on social media throughout USA Cup. You can find them on Twitter at USA Cup Soccer, Facebook/USA Cup, Instagram at USA Cup Soccer, Snapchat at NSC_sports, and of course our blog, which is blog.nscsports.org. Coming up on BTB Live at 6, we're going to show you how one team from Africa is connecting with the local Twin Cities community unlike anything we have seen at the USA Cup before. And what it was like when the Liberian girls team tried ice skating for the first time ever. And of course, we'll run through the action on this Playoff Friday at the USA Cup. That'll do it for now. Thanks for joining us on behalf of the good folks here at the National Sports Center and USA Cup. Make the most of your afternoon, and we hope to see you right back here at 6 on Beyond the Bench Live.